We are in an area called Landmark 81. It is an area within Ho Chi Minh City that is next to the Saigon River. It is known for the largest and tallest building in Vietnam. It is surrounded by a whole community of buildings, villas, and a park. Also a marina. This newly built area was planned by Vinh Home, built from the ground up, and was intended to be a commercial, business, residential, and recreational center. Traveling inward to Ho Chi Minh City Center, we cross the Saigon River where we make a left into this newly built area. You could tell right away that you stepped into another Vietnam. It was unlike any other areas in Vietnam. We started out the first part of our 2-day stay by exploring the neighborhood. Each building had its own storefront, convenience stores, daycare, doctor's office, etc. It almost is like a community within itself. We decided to cross the road over the bridge into the park that sits on the Saigon River. Lên cầu thang này. Ở đây có cầu thang máy nè. The first thing you notice around Landmark 81 was the roads are very well designed, very big, and there was no traffic at all, which compared to the rest of Ho Chi Minh City was quite the contrast. Vinh Home Central Park, I think it has a reference to New York's Central Park, is probably one of the biggest parks in Ho Chi Minh City. It's very well designed. It's probably drawn up from an architect. It sits right next to the Saigon River, and it has many different sections that offer different scenery, as you can see.
Tại sao mình không lái chứ? Mai lấy xe để chở con đi nha. Đi qua chợ cậu, qua nhà cậu Đức chơi. Ok. Qua uống Pepsi, Coca.
Walking around, you see there's a lot of residents who live around Landmark 81, enjoying the park and making use of their daily exercises. There was a lot of tourists like us who were visiting the area, also just wandering around, filming, and also just checking out the scenery. One thing I noticed was there was a lot of grass in this park. Usually in Vietnam, it's really difficult for people to maintain grass. I think it's just because of the weather where they don't have winter, so it's hot year round, so the grass kind of dies out. So this park is trying to make a big effort in maintaining a lot of green grass space. Looking across the river, that is the part of Ho Chi Minh City that will get a lot of future development. This is the plan where their new city will sit. On this side of the river is the old city. All the land has been pretty much taken up, so there's a lot more open spaces on the other side. So this is where their new skyline, their new high rises will start popping up throughout the years. So right now it looks still modest, but in the future it might be totally unrecognizable. This is probably the center of the park. I could see from the open space that it was built in mind that there's a lot of public venue that could be hosted here. And then if you walk a little bit further, you'll see some man-made ponds, and in the pond itself has some fountains set up. So I'm sure that they can set up a water show also in special occasions. So maybe one day we can be here while they were doing all this. Compared to the rest of Ho Chi Minh City, the Landmark 81 area is like an alternate reality. So much open spaces, so much nature, a contrast between the high rises and skyline and the nature backdrop of the park and the river. Alright, so we're walking towards Landmark 81, the skyscraper. There's a shopping mall, food court, and tons of things to do in there. So we're gonna go in there and explore and see what kind of food options we could get.
Đứng đây này mà chụp cái này. Mình lấy cái quả 81 này nè, đứng đây. Đây.
Giúp cái phía nha.
Skyline dining. Thì đang quay lên. So here we are. We're about to go up the tallest building in Vietnam, Landmark 81. Enjoy the view. See how it looks like from up there. So we gotta make up a couple more flights of stairs. So this is inside the skyscraper Landmark 81. It is a skyscraper consisting of 81 floors with mixed use. So there's residential and office space. But in the bottom floors, there's a shopping mall, a skating ring, a food court, many restaurants, as well as a grocery stores. And then as you approach the top floors, there's high-end restaurants as well as a sky view deck. Yeah. This is my cousin and his daughter. They live in Vietnam, and this is their first time on the top floor of Landmark 81. It's actually their first time being in the skyscraper Landmark 81. Even though they're local, this area is more known for tourists and the high-end crowd, so not a lot of locals find themselves here. So they were very excited for this luxury today to go all the way on top and to film and to talk to their friends about it.
Cao nguy hiểm lắm. Ở dưới này đây con. Nắng mà thiếu lên. Không quá.
Cái này cái cầu nè,
Đâu có.
cầu Sài Gòn nè.
Đó.
Đó, cầu sông Sài Gòn.
Quay đi. Đường bên đây đẹp hơn nè. Landmark 81 nha. Nên đi đường nào đó đường gì quên nè. Quá cao. Hả?
Hey guys, so here we are at the viewing level of Landmark 81. They have a protected barrier glass here so that way people can view the ground safely. It's quite windy up here, so I was building Vietnam. As you can see, there's a lot of communication towers that goes up higher. So, but I think that's just for technical antennas and all that. So nobody is allowed up there besides technical support people. Alright, here's how it looked. Saigon at night. Tallest spot in Vietnam. I've been visiting Vietnam for the last 20 years, and every time I come back, it amazes me just how much it changed. We decided to grab dinner at one of the many restaurants on the ground level. It is Central Vietnamese cuisine. We tried out some spicy beef noodle, some specialized rice, and some grilled chicken. It was okay. Vietnamese food is best experienced out there in Vietnam, not in malls. Next up, we decided to check out the grocery store that's in the lower level. It is a full grocery store offering everything you need for your domestic consumption. I have a feeling that a lot of residents that live in the building, also around this community, in the surrounding buildings, would go here to buy and shop. There's everything from fruits and vegetables to meats to fresh seafood. It is quite an expansive selection. So for our first video, we rented an apartment here in one of the smaller buildings next to the Landmark 81 building. It's a very nice, spacious 4-bedroom apartment. Very cheap and affordable, only about $120 a night. So my family decided to stay here and give it a try, just to check out the area and explore. If we would like it, we'll come back and we'll try to stay in the Landmark Tower next time. Next morning, I woke up a little bit early for a walk around the park again, and I noticed there was a lot of people that woke up early to go exercise. In fact, it was very busy. I see a lot of people, usually senior citizens. They're up nice and early to get their exercise in before the sun comes out and becomes too hot. That's a common theme in Vietnam. People tend to like to exercise before the sun comes up because the weather here gets really hot. So it's best to do it right before it gets that hot. If not, then it becomes unbearable and you probably can't even exercise. On the high-rise side, I was just casually walking through the area and seeing that there's also people out and about doing different kind of work and exercising. There's a lot of pools around this area. I believe there's 8 pools, and they all just locate right there on the foot of all these high rises. And I believe if you live in this community, you can use them all. And they give you like a special key card, and then you can just enter any pool you want. Looking around, you see there's a lot of storefront businesses that's basically at ground level of each building, and they're very diverse in what kind of business they are. They have convenience stores and doctor's office and daycare and just any sorts of restaurants. So it's like a little town within a town. The kiddos really love the little playgrounds that's right there. They get to come and meet a bunch of kids their age, and they're probably at home with, grandparents watching them while their parents is out and about working.
Daddy!
Yes?
A little baby.
I
He's
know.
so cute.
They're all so cute. Everybody here is just so casually carrying out their daily routine. It seems like they just live here and it's just a normal day of life, just like any other city. But this one is quite different from the rest of Ho Chi Minh City, where it's quite bustling and there's just so many people and so much traffic. But here, it's very calm, very serene. It's almost like a different reality in Vietnam. I would say it's not what Vietnam is. This is, I guess, the vision of the future for Vietnam. On the last day of our stay, we decided to grab some breakfast before we checked out. We decided just to go downstairs and check out one of the restaurants that was just on the ground level of our building. And it was just a typical Vietnamese breakfast. They like to eat a lot of baguettes, and this one dish that we tried is a steak dish. It's quite normal in Vietnam to eat kind of food like this in the morning. Alright guys, that wrapped up our stay here at Landmark 81. Hopefully with any luck we'll get to come back here and stay again in the future. If you enjoy our content, this is quite a fun hobby for me, so if you like and subscribe, that would really help me feel motivated to make more videos like this. Thank you. See you again soon.